Thank you, and we are live.
Thank you very much. I'm calling this meeting of the Committee of Adjustment for the Township of Cavan Monaghan to order this June 1st, 2023. We have a quorum. I'm going to ask for any disclosure of any conflicts of pecuniary interest in the application today from any of our members. Are there any?
None.
Thank you. Moving on to the minutes of the previous meeting, which was March 14th. Are there any questions, comments, changes, or anything to those minutes from the members? Hearing none, I would ask for a motion to approve the minutes from the previous meeting. Do I have a motion?
Yeah, I can do it.
Dave? All in favor? You in favor, Aaron, or? Can you hear us, Aaron? Not sure Aaron's hearing us.
Through you, Chair. Mr. Glover, if you can hear us, do you mind using the reactions button to just raise your hand?
Oh.
All right, it appears we do have some technical difficulties. We'll just give it a moment for Mr. Glover to rejoin.
Right.
Did you get?
All right, and Mr. Glover, thank you for rejoining. Can you hear us now? All right. I am just going to message through the chat. One moment here.
Okay, sorry guys, I think I'm good.
No, good. You can hear me, Aaron?
I can hear you. Sorry about that.
No problem. I don't know how much you heard before, so I'm going to go back to asking if there's any declaration of pecuniary interest or conflict of interest. Dave said no, and none from you. Okay, so
Yeah.
then we
Thank
moved
you.
on. Then we moved on to the minutes of the previous meeting, March 14th. There were no comments from Dave. Do you have any comments or questions regarding those minutes?
No, I do not.
All right, then I asked for a motion to approve those minutes. I had a motion from Dave, and then I asked all in favor.
Yeah, in favor as well. I can second that motion.
All right, so minutes of the previous meeting held March 14th are approved. Now moving on to the main issue for today, the application for minor variance, number MV0323. And I would pass it over to Karen to discuss it. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman Semple. Welcome members of the committee and anyone who may be participating via Zoom. The application before the committee today applies to lands at 13 Main Street in Millbrook. 13 Main Street is an existing lot of record with approximately 800 square meters or 0.2 acres of land. It is developed with an existing single detached dwelling and accessory building. The house is serviced with municipal piped water and sewer services. If you've been to the site, you will notice that the lot is located at the corner of Main and Marshall Streets. There is a creek that runs through a portion of the property as well. It's quite a nice location. The owners of that property are looking to construct a new accessory building, and an accessory apartment is to be located within that accessory building. The new accessory building will be approximately 9.75 meters or 32 feet by 7.3 meters or 24 feet in size. So it comes out to about 768 square feet altogether. The new accessory building is proposed to be located between the existing dwelling and the watercourse. There is quite a large tree on site that we're planning that tree will not be affected by the construction of the new building. The property is zoned urban residential 1. In that zone, an accessory apartment is a permitted use. There is a restriction in our bylaw at the present time that an accessory apartment can only be 45% of the gross floor area of the main dwelling. In this particular case, the existing dwelling is about 727 square feet in size. So in today's comparable standards, it's a small dwelling, which makes 45% of that quite small. With the accessory apartment, they wanted it a little bit bigger, so they were asking for the minor variance so that they can increase the size of that accessory apartment to 768 square feet, which turns out to be 59% of the floor area of the main dwelling. So that's the purpose of the minor variance. All of the other standard regulations of the urban residential 1 zone do apply. So that means that the development will comply with all standard setback requirements, the maximum height requirement, the requirement that they provide 30% landscaped open space. The new development also complies with the maximum lot coverage. So we are good with all other zoning bylaw regulations as they apply to the urban residential 1 zone. As required by the Planning Act, notice of this application was circulated by first-class prepaid mail to all assessed persons within 60 meters, or 200 feet of the property, to all required ministries and agencies. We also did an internal circulation, and signs were posted on both the Marshall and Main Street frontages of the property. As of the date of drafting of the report, the township had received written comment from a neighbor at 15 Main Street. They confirm that they have no issue with the variance, provided that the property line is a tier 2 and noise levels are reasonable. So as I've just indicated, all of the standard setbacks can be complied with this application, and noise complaints are addressed through the township's noise bylaw. Generally, there will be noise, obviously, during the construction period, but I would say for the most part, we don't, in Cavan Monaghan, have a lot of noise complaints related to standard residential uses. So they've indicated that they have a good neighbor relationship, so we don't anticipate any issues with regard to noise moving forward. Township staff have no objections to the variance. The building department did confirm that a building permit is required for the new building, and there have been discussions between the owners and the representatives and building department staff. A wider driveway is required to accommodate a parking space for the new accessory apartment, and an entrance permit for that culvert extension is required. If you've been down to do a site visit, you'll know that there is work going on Main Street, so that culvert extension and that entrance permit may be dealt with through that project. So the timing is good for that type of thing. Autonomy Conservation also provided comment. They did confirm that the application is consistent with 3.1 of the provincial policy statement. A permit will be required from the agency prior to any site alteration. And they also confirmed that the property is not within a vulnerable area as per the source protection plan. Further to that, they did offer some advice indicating that an arborist be on site during or participate in the process during the site works, just to make sure that the tree is maintained in the best health possible. So those comments have been included in the report for your information. I did not make that a condition of approval for this application because a permit is required from ORCA, and they can have those discussions with the applicant at that time. And it's in the report, and we will also have discussions as part of the building permit process. One other thing that was not in the report, and I do apologize, but things are happening very quickly in the planning world, but the province has with Bill 23, they've changed the rules a little bit in terms of accessory apartments in residential areas that are serviced with piped water and sewer. So now the provincial legislation says that you can have a maximum of 2 accessory apartments, and one of those apartments can be in an accessory building. So currently the township's bylaw does not permit an apartment in an accessory building, but provincial legislation overrides that. And so we at the township have taken the position that until we get our bylaw updated, an accessory apartment in an accessory building is permitted, but we are going to use the standard regulations, i.e. the 45%, to regulate it. So just to be upfront and clear with you, there is provincial regulations that do override zoning bylaw regulations at this moment in time. To go back to agency comments, after the writing of the report, we did receive written confirmation from Hiawatha First Nation that they have no objections to the minor variance. Staff did review this application in terms of the 4 tests for a minor variance as outlined in the report, and we are satisfied that this application satisfies those 4 tests. Therefore, the recommendation to the committee today is that the Committee of Adjustment review and consider all verbal and written comments received regarding this application. And secondly, that the committee approve application MB-03-23 with no conditions.
Thank you very much, Karen. Are there any questions, comments from the committee members regarding this application? Anything from you, Dave or Aaron?
And for myself, I didn't have any questions.
Yeah, I was on mute. I didn't have any questions either.
All right. I just had one brief question. Is the existing dwelling 2-story or 1-story?
Through you, Chairman, to you and to members of your committee, it's actually 1-story with part stories.
Okay, right. All right, so just looking at the map. The new proposed dwelling looks larger than the existing dwelling. Am I looking at that wrong? Or?
You are entirely correct.
Okay. So when you say 59%, it's not 59% of what the existing building is. It's 59% of the total.
Through you, Chairman Semple, to you and members of the committee, yes, it's 59% of the gross floor area of the main building. So that includes the main story or the first story and the partial stories.
Okay, thank you. All right, I have no other questions unless there's any more from the members. I would ask for a motion to approve the application.
I can do that.
First of all, so was there any comments? Was there anyone from the public joining today?
Thank you. Through you, Chair, we do have 2 attendees. If you wish to speak, please raise your hand through the reaction symbol. If you don't wish to speak, then we'll just, okay, we do have 1. So we do have a member of the public. I will promote you so that you may speak. Just takes a moment. All right. If you can please state your name, first and last name for the committee, and then your comments.
Oh, you there? Sorry.
Yes, we can hear you now. If you can
Okay,
please
sorry.
state your name for the first and last name for the committee.
Josh Gardner. I'm just on behalf of Tabitha. We just want to say thank you for your time and energy put into this. And she just was unable to attend the call today. So I'm just jumped on board and I just want to make sure we relay our appreciation for time and energy. That's all.
All right, are you the applicant then?
Like common law with the applicant, but she's dealing with her kids there. They had a dental appointment. She just can't be on the call.
All right, and did you have any questions or comments for the committee?
I do. I got lots, but I'll come in. I won't keep everyone on this call any longer than required.
Okay.
Okay,
Go ahead.
thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. I'll leave now, and thank you very much, and we'll be in touch with people here shortly.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
And I think there was one other member that was in on the Zoom call. Are they wanting to speak as well?
Thank you. Through you, Chair, I do not see any more hands up, so we may proceed.
All right, I had asked for a motion to approve these minutes as recommended with no condition, or not the minutes, the application as recommended with no conditions. So I'd renew that request for a motion.
I can do that. Approve with no conditions.
And all in favor?
Favor?
The application is accepted and passed. Given that that's the all of our business for today, I'd ask for a motion to adjourn.
Yeah, I have a motion to adjourn.
Aaron, we are adjourned.